So we found out the other day that a lot of senior politicians who have retired, and a lot of senior civil servants in high up positions in different departments who had retired, were overpaid in their pensions in terms they were getting more than they should have been getting in their pensions. And obviously that's no surprise because pretty much it's money for the boys. They have friends in high places, and they give them a nice retirement. A few extra 100,000 here and there. To give to them because they don't have enough money, so they need to give that. So take for example me as an only civil servant, a low ranking civil servant that's clean the street in the as I say, in the local area. We won't see a penny nearly of that. Imagine I'm paying €16 something a week in a pension, and I'm only 22, and I'd probably never see it. Unfortunately, it'd be 80 years old by the time in terms of my retirement. There'd be no such thing as that. Me getting a pension, I presume. But yeah, these people can get a huge amount of money, probably never paid into a pension. Who knows with these high up civil servants, these politicians. They just, again, as long as you're part of the establishment, meet the criteria, you get money thrown at you. But if you don't fit the criteria and you question stuff, you don't get any money thrown at you. Such is life. But yeah, no surprise, because I think everybody knew this was going on, to be totally honest. That civil servants, high up civil servants, they done served the government, didn't serve the people, but served the government's narrative. And you didn't ask any questions, just whatever the government said to do. They get a good, obviously nice little bonus. So it was all by pretty much design, because it's not a mistake, let's put it that way. And very senior politicians too, not by mistake they're getting hundreds of thousands extra a year. It isn't by mistake. Nobody can really make that mistake by mistake, let's put it that way. It was all designed, let's be honest. The same with the politicians now. Heather Humphreys left the job, said she wasn't fit to do it, even though she's not even pension age yet. She said, I'm not fit to do it, even though she wants people to work to 70. As soon as she left the job as a TD and the minister, €62,000 in her pocket straight away, in terms of a big lump sum in retirement. 62,000. There's people literally have worked all their life. People like my father who were in the 70s had to work literally when they were barely 12 years old, barely 10 years, didn't even finish national school. Worked all his life. Worked up until nearly 52. And take for example, they wouldn't really going to give him the pension, because when he was majority of the time when he was working, there was no such thing as paying into a pension. There was no such thing as that back in them times, and the majority, they didn't want to give him a full pension even though he worked the majority of his life. Take for example, that, with all these politicians, it's not very fair that man is only getting 200 and something a week, after working all them years. And these politicians, in some estimates, are getting nearly 2,000 or 3,000 a week in a pension. In some cases, and some retired politicians, 2,000 or 3,000, some of them 5,000-6,000 euro a week in a pension. It's insane. And then obviously some high up civil servants are getting way more too. But it's irresponsible, because it's not fair on the only Joe who's worked the same amount of time, has worked harder than any of these high up civil servants or any of these politicians, because these politicians wouldn't work on a fit. If they had to work their life, they would collapse. But yeah, we all knew this was going on. It's pretty much nobody's surprised that it's going on, that this is going on. It's been going on for the last probably 100 years in this state, unfortunately. But it shouldn't be going on, of course. And all these people who were overpaid, because again, it's the state's fault in the first case. They should have been obviously knew what was going on. They're not stupid. You try and not pay the revenue. If you owed €5 to the revenue, they would come after you for it. They know straight away. They know all about these things. They know how much people are paying in tax next. They can check it up within an instant nowadays. So everybody who was overpaid any form of Taoiseachs or TDs or senators should pay the money back. But obviously that won't happen, in Ireland. Of course not. The government will say, oh, we can't do anything about it now. They're good friends of the government. We let them off with it. So yeah, it's a great country for some.